Okay, so let's start our module 3, which is math, and the topic which we are going to discuss, these are arithmetic operators, assignment operators, built-in math functions, the math module, and the random module, right? In the previous class, we are done with the math module and the random module, but today we will cover our operators. So this is here. Yeah. So there are some Python operators. You can see arithmetic operators, relational operators, assignment operators, logical, bitwise, membership, and the identity operators, right? But in this module 3, this have included only arithmetic operators and assignment operators. But they will try to cover logical operators also because that is very important. So I will cover that in today's class, that topic also. Okay. So yeah, before going to the operators directly, let us talk about operator precedence first. Means when we are talking about the expression is what? Expression is basically a combination of operator and operand. So operators, these are in front of you. Means if you are having an expression which have included so many operators in that, right? So what it called, the like in which you have to follow some priority, like parenthesis has the highest priority over these all operators, then exponential operator, then you will talk bitwise complement and unary minus operator, multiplication, division, modulo, float division, like this. These all are having priority, right? So when I'm talking like when I'm moving top to bottom, the priority decreases because in the top parenthesis having highest priority, and if I talk about logical or is having the lowest priority. But still you can see that there are some multiplication, division, modulo, and float division in the single line. Means they all are having the equal priority. Like you are we solve. So in that, if the priority is equal at that time, that operator precedence means associativity is moved from left to right in the expression. If we are having these all operators like multiplication, division, modulus, and float division in the expression, then we will solve it from left to right, which is coming first in the expression, that will be solved, right? Because these are all on the same priority. One more thing, there is one more exponentiation operator. If we are having 3 or 4 association exponentiation operator in our expression, then this will move from right to left, means by right to left direction. Okay, so we will keep that in our mind, that if the uh, operators are on the same priority, we will move from left to right, but only one exponentiation operator is there in which we will move from right to left if we are having more than one exponentiation operator, right? Next, some arithmetic operators are here. We can see there are 7 arithmetic operators, right? So let us understand their meaning. So yeah. Yes. Okay, so we are gonna talk about arithmetic operator, right? So yeah. Okay. So our first arithmetic operator is our addition. So when I'm taking some values, I said A is 4 and B is 5. I want to perform an addition operation only. So I said A plus B and I will get the result on my screen. Simply writing this code. What I did, I just did A equals 4, B equals 5 and then I said A plus B and output of that result will be assigned back to this new variable, that is what C, and then I'm getting the result on my screen. This is what 9, right? This was only simple addition. Even we can do like that, 5 plus 6 and we will get the result on our screen. It is that much simple. Okay, now but if you want to assign that value to any variable, and that is possible also, as we did there, that we assign the result of this A plus B to this new variable, that is what C, right? Now let us do one more, that is I said C equals A minus B. So A is here 4 and B is 5, so we will get the result -1. Now another one, that is what multiplication. Let us do that. I said A multiply B. So multiply sign, this asterisk sign means this is your multiplication. So you will put the result of this multiplication into this new variable, which is C. This is what 4 multiplied by 5, which the result is 20, right? These are very simple and we all are aware of these operators, but still for practice only. But now we will move towards our division operator. There are two division operators. I must say that one is only simple division and then another one is our float division. A double forward slash B. Both results are different. If I'll talk about division operator, in that case, I will get the result in float. I will get the result in float every time. But if I'll talk about float division, I can get the result in float also. So let us see the result. I said C comma G, right? So let's execute that and you can see what happened when you divided 4 by 5. You got the result that was 0.8 on by using your division operator, right? But when you used your float division operator, you got only 0. Why? Because when both the operands in the float division operator are integer, then we will get the integer value only. And 0 is your integer value here, means before decimal. Whatever the value is here, we will get on the screen. So before decimal, these are all integer. With decimal, this has become a float number, means 0.8. You can see that I said A is 24, it's 25 and B is 3. So let's see 5 by 3 by using division operator, because division operator and your float division operator both are used for division and to find the quotient. Division will give you the result in the integer number, and you can see that when you divide it 25 by 3, you used your float division operator, you got only that integer number, which was 8. Okay, now let me change the digits. And I will say that now it's not 25. Let me say this is 24.6, right? And now again I'm performing these both operations, means these both expressions again. Sabi, please try to join again. Guys, my screen is visible, right? Am I audible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me share once again. I hope now it's visible. Is it fine now? Please tell me fast. Dhanshri and Savi. Now is it visible? Okay, thank you. Okay, so when we were using our division and float division operator, but the operands are different. Means now one operand is in float, right? And this is what 25.6, and another one operand is 3. So when I'm performing these expressions, so what result I'm getting? On the division operator, I'm getting the same result, that float number. But when on the float float division, I'm getting only that 8.0. Why? Because this division float division operator will give you the result in float when your one operand is in float, but it will not give the remaining digits after the decimal. It will just give the zero after the decimal. That's all. So what float value we will get? We will get the float value when one operand or two operand, means both operand are float. Only then we will get the float result in the case of float division operation operator, we can say. But it will be only after decimal we will get only zero. We will, which are there already in the division operator, right? So we will keep that thing in our mind. Now, let us move towards our modulus. This was, I said, modulus operator. Modulus operator is used to find the remainder, right? Like I said that C equals A percentile B. This percentage sign is used for modulus or to find the remainder. So this is for remainder. Okay. So let us execute that and we will get the result on our screen. So what is it? This is a remainder. So let me change the digit first. So you will clearly understand this. I said A is 24 and B is 4, right? So we can see that when we are dividing our 24 by 4, so what remainder we are getting? We will get only 0 on our screen. So is that fine with you all, that we are done with our division, float division and modulus, which were different from our maths actually, means which were not uh, in the result. We were not aware about these results. What result will we get? Now one more thing, that was exponentiation operator. Exponentiation operator. This is what it includes. Double asterisk sign means raised to the power. Raised to the power. Okay, so I said A is your 5 and B is your 2. Let me find out the result. I said A double asterisk B. So double asterisk was your raised to the power. So when you will execute that, you got the result. What was it? This is 25. Means 5 raised to power 2 is 25. So I think arithmetic operators are clear with you all. So we are done with all arithmetic operators. Division operator, floor division operator, and the difference between them, and then modulus operator, and the last, this was your exponentiation, that was raised to the power. Okay. Now, assignment operator. So what it means, when I'm using two operators in a single line, when I'm using two operators in a single line. For an example, I'm saying that A plus 10, right? So what I'm doing, I'm just simply adding my 8 to this number 10, and then I'm assigning the result back to this A. So but by using assignment operator, this will become very easy. Like I just want to say that I want to add this A into the 10. Now I want to assign the result back to the variable, means back to the same variable, which is what? Which is A. Okay, so let's see the result. Let me first stop this and let me execute that. So what result we get? So A was before, this was 5. Here this was 5 in the last statement. So now we got that is 15, right? Now let me do one more thing. Let me execute this. Just A plus equals 10. So now A is your, okay, I'm not speaking. Just guess yourself. What is A now? Let me execute this and let me stop this first statement. And so yeah, we got 25. Anybody wants to share here that before I was getting 15, now I'm getting 25. Is the answer correct or not? Anyone wants to share here?
Answer is correct because A is already assigned 15.
No, what was A? According to me, A is 5 now, right?
No,
But when
no,
I
ma'am.
will, yes. So what is A now? Means what was A in the previous statement, according to you? Yes, others
Ma'am,
guys?
15.
Yes, so it was 15. So that's why I got the result that is 25, right? So similarly, what I'm doing only, I just said that A, we will subtract A. So I said, okay, I want to subtract A. Okay, I want to subtract. So let me see the result. So what happened? What I'm doing, I just said that I want to subtract A. Means I will subtract this 50 from this A. How I will write this statement, you can see that it will be written like that. So A minus 50 minus 25. So I hope that assignment operator is clear to you. So how it will operate. So arithmetic operators were done before and now we are moving towards, okay, I think concatenation operator, we are clear with that. So no need to repeat. Yeah, comparison operator, I'm coming on that. So um, we were on assignment. Okay, assignment is on later. Okay, fine. So let us continue on comparison operator. So I think assignment operator is clear with you also. What we are doing, just simply writing our variable and then we will subtract or we will add that value into that variable. Like what I'm doing, that I said A minus equals 50. So what I'm doing, I'm subtracting that value from this A, as I have written here what it means, right? What I'm doing, I'm just simply subtracting that value from this A, and before I was doing that, I'm adding this 10 into this A, right? So I hope that assignment operator is clear with you also what result will happen. So you can now discuss that. But in upcoming slides, there are more assignment operators. We will discuss on that. Now I'm talking about comparison operator. So comparison operator is what? To compare, we will get Boolean. Let me take one more value, that is what? 56. Okay. Now I want to check that I is equals to B. So when I'm checking the conditions, I'm just comparing the values or operands by using these comparison operators. At that time, we will get the result into true and false. Means we will get Boolean results, right? So when I will do that, definitely A was minus 25 and B is 56. So that's why they both are not equal, right? So now if I say that A is less than B, so let us check that condition. So it returns a true. Why? Because minus 25 is less than 56. So that's why we got the result, that is what? True. Now if I say that A is less than equals B. Is it? So what it is doing? It will check two conditions at once. Means either it is less than or equal. See, yeah, A was less than equals to B because I'm checking two conditions in a single statement, right? Maybe it is less than or maybe it is equal. So definitely here it is less than, not equals to B. It was not equal to B, but yeah, it was less than B. That's why we got the result true. I hope I'm clear that A was minus 25 and B was 56 there. And I said A is less than equals to B. Means what? Yeah, A is less than. A is less than B. Yeah, because A was minus 25, but B is 56. But yeah, this is not equals to B. But fine. There is one condition must be true. Either it is less than or equal. Okay, so that's why we got the result true here. Now, if I'll say that A is greater than B, so I will get false because minus 25 is not greater than 56. And if I say that A is greater than equals to B, so definitely we will get false. So both conditions are not satisfied, right? So these are your comparison operators, right? Now unary operators are very simple, means we want to change the sign of the operand, or we can say change the sign of the value. For an example, A is your minus 25, right? Now I say that A minus A. So what will happen? It will change the sign of that value. So A is minus 25 now, but now if I will execute this statement, I got A, this is now 25. This is simple your unary operator just to change the sign of the values, right? Now let's move comparison operators. All comparison operators are done. Yeah, one more, not equal to. One more is here. So if I say that A is not equal to B, so you can see that obviously A is not equals to B because A was minus 25, or now here A is 25, not minus 25. A is 25 and B was 56. So that's why this condition is satisfying and we got the result. That is what true. Let's move on towards another operator. So unary operator is done. Now logical operator, very important operator. So have a focus, guys. So first let us see all the symbols. So what is it? Logical AND, logical OR, and logical NOT, right? So double ampersand sign is for logical AND. Double vertical lines, this is for logical OR, and one exclamation sign, this is for logical NOT, right? Based on this logical operator. Carefully here, I will say that it's true, 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 false, true, false, 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 true, true, and false, false. Sorry, this is also false. In the AND operator, what will happen? I hope you all have been through gates. I'm not sure, but I think so that if you all have done the gates, so this will be easy for you. Okay. So what is happening in the AND operator? Like when your inputs, when your both the operands or when both the conditions are showing the result, that is true, right? If both the operands, both the conditions are true, at that time you will get the result true when you are using your AND operator. Otherwise, you will get the result that is what? False. Let me show you the results here. I said true and true. Okay, so T I cannot use. Let me say it's true and it's true. Okay, so we got the result true. But if I use, I will say that true and false. We got false. If I say that false and true, we will get false. And the last, this is what? If I say that false and just remember that we are using here Boolean values, and Boolean values, always remember that first letter of that is capital, right? So what we say that when we are saying that both the operands are true and we are using our logical AND operator, at that time we will get the result are true, right? Now, if I say that one operand or one condition is throwing the result true, but another condition or value or operand, whatever is there, is false, we will get the result false. So you can remember one thing only, that in the conditions are true, what the operands, what the values are giving the result true, only then our result will be true, otherwise our result will be false. I hope this is clear till now. Okay. When my first input is, you can say first value or first operand result is false, you can see in the fourth statement and in the fifth statement. Guys, see carefully here. What I'm saying, that if your first operand is false, then doesn't matter what is your second operand result, because the output will be false only. So what will we do? We will just focus on the first operand. When the first operand is false, we will not focus on the second operand. We will just throw the first operand as a result, and which is false. Okay. Now, when I will focus now, where you will focus on the second operand in the AND operator, when your first input, or you can say first value or first condition is true, at that time you will check your second operand. Why? Because the output is being varying. Because for the first, means in the second statement, when the both conditions are true, you are getting the result true. But when your one condition is true and one is false, at that time you are getting false, means your second operand as a result. Hope I'm clear here, that if your first operand is false, you will definitely get the result false. Okay, so no need to take care of the second operand result, just throw your first operand as a result. Okay, but if your first operand is true, at that time you will focus on the second operand, because based on second operand your output is changing, right? So second operand will be as your result there. So let us do some examples so you will better understand that. Let me take one example. I said it's 4 and 0. Okay. So guys, just think once that 4 is a number. We all are done with the bool. Just confirm me once. Let me show you that. I am asking that it's bool of 0, or if I say that bool of 4. Are we done with that? Please confirm me, guys. So I will move ahead.
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Yes. So what is it? I said when I'm get, see guys, true is for 1. True means you are getting something, means 1, and false when you are not getting anything, means 0. I'm repeating, true when you are getting some values, means you can say 1, right? But false when you are not getting any value, you can say 0, right? So when I will check that bool of 0, so it will give me the result. This is what? False, right? But when I'm passing some values, I say bool of 1. Okay, this is true, right? Now just focus here. I have written some examples here. In the first statement, I have passed an integer value to this. Means I'm passing a value to that. I want to check that Boolean value of this 10. So definitely I will get the result true. I hope I am clear here that I will get result true, right? Now again, this is a float number. Again, I will get the result true, right? Now this is again a float value. I will get the result. It doesn't mean that this is float, this is complex, or this is in. It means I'm having a value to convert into the Boolean. My just point is that if I'm having any value to convert into the Boolean, then this is true. Means there is something. But if I say that it is 0.0, so this is false. Means 0.0 or 0, both are same. Now 10 minus 2j. Yeah, definitely there is a complex number. Means there is a value. So definitely the result will be true. Again the result is true. There is again. Now 0 plus 0j. So I'm not having any real part or any imaginary part in these complex numbers. True. That if there is something in the string, so definitely we will get the result true. Now I said bool of false. So again there is something in the string, whatever is there, but there is something. So again we will get the result true. In the last, I'm not getting anything in this string. Even I'm not having a single space in the string. So that's why this is false. But if I will write it like this, like double quotes, and I'm having a single space in that, means there is something in that single double quotes, so definitely the result will be true. I hope I'm clear with you all. Now is there any doubt with these all Boolean values? If I'm having empty string or no value, means this will be your false, otherwise true. Any value, any integer, any complex, any string value, or any space even, they will give the result true, otherwise false. So means when your values are 0, or you can say a blank string, you will get the result false. Yes guys, I'm clear. I hope so. Please let me know, so I will move ahead. Devansh, Hitesh, Prachi Arora, Prachi Panchal, speak fast.
Clear, ma'am.
Okay. Means किसी को कोई problem नहीं है, ठीक है? Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, so now it's clear. So let's move. Okay, so now think once. So for in the string, so definitely the result will be true, guys. You just need to think that there is a value in the string, so definitely there is a result true, right? I hope so. If any case you're not getting me, just let me know. Okay. So now I said 4, so means I will get the true value, true result, or then I said 0, so 0 is a false. So when I say true and false, so what result I will get, guys? I will get false, right? Now which false I am getting? This second one. This second result I am getting here. If I will say that this is your blank string and there is a number. Okay, I said 5, right? Now if I say that this is your false and this is your true. So what I told you at that time, that false in case of first operand, which is your false, we will not take care of the second operand. Maybe it is true or maybe it is false, but still the result will be false only, right? But what result I will get on my screen? Will I get this false? No, I will not get this false. I will get the result. This is double this string, this double quotes, this blank string I will get on my screen. So that's why I was pressurizing on the operands. So you just take care of the operands. When we are talking about some values of the operands, at that time you will focus on the operands, guys. Just keep my things in your mind that I said my first value is false and my second value is true. So my first result will be here on the screen. False. My result will be false. And which false? My first operand false. And the result is here single blank string. Let me change the example and you will get more. I say this is your 0 and again 0. Okay. So what will happen here? My both results are false. Okay, so definitely I will get the result false. But which false? Let me say that this is 0.0. Okay, my first value is false. I'm telling you again and again, if my first operand is false, I will not take care of the second operand. Maybe this is false, maybe this is true. I won't care about that. I will get only the first operand as my result. Am I clear, guys? Or any doubt? This is little bit complex, but not much if you will keep focus here. Yes, Shubham and Savi? Pick up, guys. Okay, Prachi Arora, Prachi Panchal. Let me know,
Yes,
please.
I'm clear.
Okay, okay, Shubham clear. Aman. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so some examples. Let us do some examples then. Okay, Savi. I said it's hello. And okay, so what result I will get, guys? Let me know fast.
False.
So I will get the result as false on my screen, is it?
Ma'am, 0.
We will get 0 on my screen. Where is 0 in this statement? This is my question.
Ma'am, right operand.
Hmm?
Right operand.
Sorry, I didn't get you, Amit.
T string. Right operand.
Means after the end, whatever I have written, I will get on my screen. Is it?
0 digit or false value.
Zero
Ma'am,
digit
0.
of false.
Ma'am, 0. False statement. False will. False or 0, ma'am.
Means I
Right
will get both false and 0, right? Is it?
No, because of right operand.
See, guys, what I have said. My hello is my true. Okay, I have used my AND operator here, but now second operand is my blank string. This is what false. And what I told you in the AND operator, when my operand, my result is changing, right? And now my second operand is giving the result as false. So on the screen, I will get my second operand. First operand is true. So now we will focus on the second operand. And what is my second operand? This is your, okay, let me stop this first. What I get on my screen, this empty string. I am not getting the result true and false. When I will get the result as true and false, let me keep some conditions. When there are some conditions, one example, I said 5 is greater than 3 and mm, now this will give you the result as true and false. Why? Because we are comparing conditions. We are comparing operands, right? When we compare operands at that time, we got our Boolean results, which were true and false. And now 5 is greater than 3. This is false. And 4 is less than 3. This is also false. So what result I will get on my screen? This is your false. Because first condition was also false. Second condition is also false. So that's why false and false in the end. This is what? False, right? Now let me change. I will say that 4 is greater than 3. So what result it will be now? Come on, guys.
True.
Who was this true? Who was this true?
Ma'am, Prachi Arora.
Okay. So, yeah, 5 is greater than 3. This is true. And 4 is greater than 3. This is also true. That's why we got the result. This is true. Right? So, both results, both conditions were giving the result as true. That's why we got the result true. So, just keep that thing in time. We are not gonna get the result in the true and false. We will just get the operands. Whatever, on based on that the result is changing. So we will focus on the second operand or we will focus on the first operand, right? So I hope that end operator is now clear to you all. Now let us do our or operator. Okay, so now let us change the values. This will be true, this will be true, but the last one only when the both results are false only, otherwise true. But now again, one focus here. When our first operand is true, we will not take care of the second operand. At that time, we were not taking care of second operand. But in the OR operator, what is happening when our first operand is true, we will not take care of the second operand because the result is same, true, right? Now, in another case, now if your first result is false, and when our first operand is false and second operand is true, at that time I'm getting the result true, but both the operands are false, at that time I'm getting false. So based on that, you will just keep in your mind this table. You will just remember that when the result will get changed. It's 0 and not n, or I will say that it's 0. Yes, guys. Now, I want the result from you all. Anyone wants to answer here? I said double quote 0 or 0. So what will be the result? If end operator is clear to you all, you can answer here also. Just looking at it. So when we will taking care of second operand or when we will not take care of second operand.
Ma'am, false.
मैम ट्रू मैम स्ट्रिंग वाला जीरो प्रिंट होगा
String wala 0. See, who said that this is the false? We are not gonna get result as a false or true here. I just told you before that if we are just keeping some values, we are just taking some values. So either we will get the result as first operand or second operand, right? We will not get the result as true or false. But if we are taking some conditions and between that I'm using my OR operator, at that time we will get the result true or false only. Fine. Okay. So, okay. So yeah, definitely 0 means something is there in your string. That's why you are getting your first operand true. Right? At that time, we won't take care of the second result. Because as if we see or we will have a look on our table. So when our first value was true, our result is true in the both statement. If our first operand is true, we will not take care of the second operand. Maybe this is false, maybe this is true. We will get the result true. And which true means we will get only the first operand as a result. Right? So this is our result. Right? Now let us take some conditions here. I said that 9 is less than equals to 0 or 5 is not equal to 9. Yes, guys. Now let me know the answer.
Ma'am, true.
Ma'am, true.
Yes. Why? Because 9 is less than equals to 0. This will be your false, or 5 is not equals to 9. This will be your true. So we will get the result as true on our screen. So I hope that you all are clear with this OR operator and the AND operator, right? Let's move back to our PPT. Our logical operator is done. Okay, so but keep that symbol in your mind that these symbols can be there in the place of and or and not. Okay, we are not done with the not operator. Let me finish that first and then we will move to our next operator. Okay, this symbol is for your not operator. Now I will take some condition. I say note not 0. Okay. Only I said one condition, one statement, that is not 0. So 0 is your false value, right? Note what will it do? It will just change the output based on the result. 0 is your false value, means not false. So result will be your true. But if I say that not 1, so there will be a false. So let us take some values here. I said this is 4. What it means that not true. So we will get the result false. So let me make one expression here. I will say that it's 5 is greater than 4 or 3 is not equal to 4. Okay, yes guys, give me the result.
False.
So whoever give the answer, so he was correct. So answer is false. When we are using a not operator, within that we used our or operator. So for operator, and then we will get a result. So this is your false. So I hope I'm clear with you all with these all logical operators, right? It's a compound assignment operators, plus equal, minus equal, asterisk equal, division equal, or modulus equal, floor division equal. So these all are your assignment operators. Now I want to clear one more thing to you all. Yeah. So this is your and equality operator. Okay. Identity and equality. Okay. So what are identity operators actually? If I say that is or is not, these are your identity operator. Okay. Now equality operator. Equality. So this is your double equal sign. Single equal sign means we are just assigning a value to a variable. But double equal sign means equality. We are just taking the equality. I hope you all remember that conditional statements, conditional operator, comparison operator. We did, right? So now let us work on this. Identity means you will check the IDs or memory addresses. For an example, if I say that A is 4 and B is also 4. Okay. Now if I say A is B. So anyone guys will let me know that A is B. Is it true or not?
Ma'am, true.
True.
True. Why? Why? Because ID of this A and ID of this B both are synced. So let us have a look on that first. I said print ID of A and ID of B. Okay. Oh yeah, I cannot use this caps B. So yeah. So both IDs are same. You can say both memory addresses are same. That's why if I said A is B, so we got the result as true, right? Now if I say A equals B, when I said A is B, it was just comparing the results. It was not comparing the values. It was comparing the memory addresses, or you can say identity, that these identities are same or not. But in case of A and B, both were same, so that's why we got the result true, right? But when I'm saying about, when I'm talking about equality operator, what it means, it means I'm checking the values, I'm comparing the values, right? So I will get the result true because I'm just comparing the values. 4 and 4 both are equal. Yeah, this is true, right? But if IDs are not same, so A is B. If IDs are not same of A and B, and I will say A is B, so I will get the result false. So what I mean actually, that when I'm using equality operator, I'm just comparing the values only. If I will say that I'm talking about identity operator, means I'm talking about identities or memory addresses. And there are two only. These symbols are is or is not. Okay. That was the case of your integer number, right? When I'm talking about integer number, so identity is same. That's why we got the result. Now let us talk about float number. Float number I said 12.3 and B is also 12.3. Let us check. A is B. Is it? So no, this is not. Why? Because if I say that if I'll talk about float numbers, so sometimes, let me show you one example. I said plus 1.1, it's plus and 1.1. This is the float gives us the result as a float number. So I cannot say that this is equals to 3.3. We cannot. Because result of this number is different. Both same float number into the different memory addresses, right? When I will compare these IDs, so these are not equal. That's why we got the result as false. And even when I'm checking my equality conditions, when I'm having a direct look on my statement, what it is, this is just 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, and the result should be 3.3. But no, internally, the sum of the left operand is, after decimal, we are getting up to 15 digits. But here it's only 3.3, means both are different. Okay, so just keep that in your mind. Now let us talk about string. I said it's hello, and it's also hello. And let me take one more string. This is what I'm taking it by using input function. Okay. Now I said enter the string, and this string will be also same. Let me say that A is B, and I will say that A is C. Okay, let us check it. First, let me comment it. So I said hello. In the A, it was hello. In the B, this was also hello. And in the C, this is again I'm taking a hello string. And let's take the output. What happened? I said A is B. Yeah, A is B because both strings are same. Means both string are in the same identity, or you can say having same memory address. That's why we got the result true, right? But if I say that C enter the string, I again pass the same string. But here now Python will assign the different memory address to this string. So when I will check this condition, A is C, this will give me the false result. So just keep these things in your mind when we are talking about float. Python assigns different memory addresses to each float number. When we talk about string, in the string case, when we are taking input from the user, maybe this is same which we have assigned earlier, but still Python will assign the different memory address to that, and then when we will compare the identities, we will get the different result. So I hope I'm clear with you all about these all things. So are you done, guys? So for today, this was only okay. So let's do the test now. Are you ready for that?